Let's look at 6.4, where we'll be looking at area and circumference. 1A says, what will it cost to carpet a rectangular floor? I'll go ahead and draw that. Measuring 9 feet by 21 feet. If the carpet costs $26.50 per square yard, notice the difference in the units there. Okay, so if we're carpeting it, we want the area. Remember, we've had a problem before where we looked at fencing, that was perimeter. But area would be the amount of carpet that we need to cover that floor. Okay, so area, we know will be length times width. Let's go ahead and change these though to yards. So I'm going to change the 21 feet to yards using dimensional analysis. We know that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. Cancel out the common factors. We end up with 21 over 3 will reduce to 7. So that gives me 7 yards. Whereas the 9 feet, we know that 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. Cancel out the like units. We can cancel out a factor of 3. So we get 3 yards. So actually my area would look like this: 7 yards and 3 yards. Okay, so using length times width, we would get 7 yards times 3 yards, which gives me 21 square yards. When we're dealing with area, we do know that we'll end up with square units. Okay, and then the cost says it's $26.50 per square yard. So if we have 21 square yards and we multiply that by, it says $26.50 per square yard, then the square yard units would cancel out. 21 times $26.50 with units of dollars would be $556.50. Next on 1B, excuse me, find the area of the parallelogram. So we know from the area formulas, area equals base times height. We've got base is 50 centimeters. And all the units are like units, so we'll keep 50 centimeters times the height. Now the height is the perpendicular distance between these two bases. So the height would be 42 centimeters, which would give me 2,100 square centimeters. Okay. Finding the area of a triangle. Area is 1/2 base times height. We have 1/2 base is 9.8 yards. Height is the perpendicular distance between the base and the opposite vertex, which is 4.2 yards. And then when we multiply that, I would get 20.58 square yards. And notice by writing your units in your problem, we're multiplying yards times yards, which gives me square yards. You'll end up with the correct units at the end. Next, find the area of a trapezoid. Area of the trapezoid formula is 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. So we'll have 1/2 a height of 18 meters, base 1 plus base 2, so those are the parallel sides, 26 meters plus 37 meters, which would be 1/2 18 meters times 63 meters, which is 567 square meters. 2A says find the circumference of a circle whose diameter, so diameter is going to be all the way through the center of the circle, is 12 yards. Express the answer in terms of pi and then round it to the nearest tenth of a yard by using pi equals 3.14. Okay, so the circumference formula of a circle is 2 pi r, or you could use pi d. Since we've been given the diameter, you could use this formula. So that would be pi times 12 yards. So that would answer the first question. Give it in terms of pi would be 12 pi yards. And then when I multiply that using pi as 3.14, I would get 37.7 yards. Okay. If I'd use the 2 pi r, we'd have to note that radius is only half of the diameter. So that would be 2 pi times 6, which still gives me 12 pi yards, and would still result in a 37.7 yards. 2b, how many plants spaced every 6 inches are needed to surround a circular garden with a 30-foot radius? Okay, so the radius is 30. Express the answer in terms of pi and then round. So if we're going to put a plant every 6 inches around this circle, then we need to know, so circumference coming from 2 pi r is 2 pi times 30, which is 60 pi. And again, the units here were in feet. Left that out. That was feet. Okay, so if we're going to put them every 6 inches, then let's figure out what this 60 pi would be in inches. So if I change 60 pi feet to inches, we have 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. Feet will cancel out. 60 times 12 is 720 pi inches. Okay, so now that we know the circumference in inches, when we're spreading the plants out every 6 inches, we want to divide this by 6. Now, if we divide, go ahead and take the pi is 3.14, then that would be 2,260.8. We're going to divide it by every 6 inches, which gives me 377. Remember, you're rounding to the nearest tenth, but also you want to know how many plants, so it needs to be a whole number of plants. So 377 plants that it would take to surround the circle every 6 inches. And then we've got which one of the following is a better buy? A large pizza. So we're going to be a better buy, we want it to look at its area. So for the large pizza, using pi r squared, and then we have a medium pizza, we'll find its area as well. Okay, for the large pizza, it's got a diameter of 14 inches, so it would be a radius of 7 inches. Okay, which would be 49 pi square inches. And when I change that to a decimal form, it would be 153.86 square inches is the amount of pizza that you're getting in the large. If I have a 7-inch diameter, then I've got pi times the diameter would be half of 7, which is 3.5. So 3.5 pi, 3.5 squared pi inches squared. Let me go ahead and square that. So 3.5 squared would be 12.25 pi square inches. which is 38.465 square inches. Now we want to know if the price per square inch, which one is better. So if we put these both in a form of price per square inch, which gives me the unit price, it's going to be, first of all, the large was $12 per square inch. Let's round that to 154 square inches. When you divide, you would get 0.08 per square inch, so 8 cents per square inch. Whereas if we paid $5 for the 38 square inches, 5 divided by 38 is 0.13 per square inch. So the better buy would be the large pizza, since it's cheaper per square inch.